Hello guys, this is Nick with Phone Arena and today we are previewing the Samsung Galaxy S2 Plus. Now, if this smartphone seems kind of familiar to you, that's no surprise because it is a refreshed version of the Samsung Galaxy S2, the 2011 Android flagship by Samsung. It doesn't really offer a lot more in terms of hardware specifications. It comes with a 1.2 GHz dual-core processor made by Broadcom, 1GB of RAM, and a 4.3-inch Super AMOLED Plus display. There's also an 8-megapixel camera on its back. However, what you get out of the box is Android 4.1 Jelly Bean along with the nature-inspired user interface by Samsung and all of its handy features. Note that the unit that we are previewing today is a prototype, so the software on it isn't exactly finished, but it's good enough for us to give us a nice first impression as to what the smartphone is shaping up like. So let's check it out and see how well it performs. First, we'd like to give you a quick side-by-side view of the Samsung Galaxy S2 Plus on the left and the almost 2-year-old Galaxy S2 on the right. As you can see, both devices are practically identical in terms of appearance, with the exception of the new finish that the Galaxy S2 Plus exhibits. It has been inspired by the hyperglaze coating that we have on the Galaxy S3 flagship, and it does look quite fancy, we have to admit. However, there is one downside to it, namely that it picks up fingerprints rather easily, but at least they're relatively easy to get rid of. Overall, we are pretty satisfied with the design of the Samsung Galaxy S2 Plus. It is slim and light, just as the mid-range devices it will be competing against, and it has an excellent set of buttons. The 2-button volume rocker is on the left side and the on-off switch is on the right. Both of them can be easily reached with your thumb, regardless of which hand you're operating the device with. And speaking of operation, a single thumb is usually enough to handle the device efficiently. What the Samsung Galaxy S2 Plus has to offer is a 4.3-inch display with resolution of 480 by 800 pixels. The screen size is very acceptable. It is neither too big nor too small, which is perfect for a mid-range device, but its pixel density is not that impressive. On some occasions, you will notice a pixelation, and while browsing the web, you will have to zoom in on those paragraphs of text in order to read them. What we are very impressed by, however, is the very accurate color representation. The color accuracy is very good on this Super AMOLED Plus panel, and the colors are vivid but not too exaggerated. We were also happy to see that this panel has a very high brightness output and is very usable under outdoor conditions. What we have running on the Samsung Galaxy S2 Plus is Android 4.1.2 Jelly Bean, which is one of the most recent versions of the platform. On top of it, we have the Nature UX user interface by Samsung, which brings along several very handy features. For example, Smart Stay uses the front-facing camera to monitor the user, so as long as the smartphone is in use, its display won't be turned off. The other cool trick that it can do is to call a number that is highlighted as soon as you bring the smartphone up to your ear. The solid user experience is reinforced by the presence of Android 4.1 and Project Butter, which ensures the smooth responsiveness of the smartphone overall. What is a bit strange to see missing is Google Now, but we suppose that's because the unit that we're previewing is a prototype, so the feature might be present on a retail unit. When it comes to raw performance, the Samsung Galaxy S2 Plus is expected to be about as capable as the original Galaxy S2. It also comes with a dual-core processor, clocked at 1.2 GHz, but this time it is made by Broadcom. There's also 1 GB of RAM for solid multitasking experience. The storage, however, is cut in half. The smartphone is gonna come with 8 GB of onboard storage, which will be expandable with the use of a micro SD card of up to 64 GB. And here we are using the stock web browser on the Galaxy S2 Plus. As you can see, it's still a bit buggy, so it's too early to judge its performance. However, it comes with several handy features, such as the ability to save web pages for offline use and to add shortcuts to your home screens for quick access to pages you visit most often. Adobe Flash isn't present, but it can be installed manually if needed. The main camera on the Samsung Galaxy S2 Plus offers 8 megapixels of resolution, it has an LED flash, and is touted for being free of shutter lag. With its help, you can take video in high quality at 1080p resolution and 30 frames per second. The user interface for the camera is not much different from what you'd see on a high-end model like the Galaxy S3 or the Note 2. We like it for how much control it gives to the user with all the scenes and modes you're allowed to tweak. It also comes in handy that you have 2 shortcuts to frequently used features. And here we are using the default music player on the Samsung Galaxy S2 Plus. At first it looks kind of stock, but it does come with several very interesting features. One that is particularly useful is a 7-band equalizer, which has a lot of presets, but it also has further enhancements that can add reverb effects to your music. Another cool thing that you can do with the default music player is to have smart playlists built for you based on the mood that you specify. Looking at what the Samsung Galaxy S2 Plus is shaping up like, we find it safe to assume that it's going to be one respectable mid-range Android device. Of course, its hardware specs are anything but cutting edge, but a competing Android smartphone of this class will offer a very similar feature set. But even though we are satisfied with the smartphone itself, we find it kind of disappointing to see that a Plus refresh to a 2011 top-of-the-line Android smartphone has nothing to justify its name with other than this new fancy shiny paint job and the presence of Android 4.1 Jelly Bean out of the box, which is a software upgrade that the original Galaxy S2 is gonna get anyway. Perhaps if the old model wasn't available anymore, it would have made sense for Samsung to release the Galaxy S2 Plus, but the old variant can be still found via many retailers online, and we somehow doubt that the Plus model will be superior to the old one. Thank you for watching our video preview of the Samsung Galaxy S2 Plus. This is Nick, and if you'd like to learn more about the latest Android smartphones and tablets out there, go check us out at phonearena.com.